Look at that. Man, if it don't make muscle, it don't make sense. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, True Adonis, bringing you a back video. Man, that you check out that intro. All that damn muscle. YouTube is gonna flag me for copyright infringement. But I got the license to it all, baby. Showing you guys a back video, showing you how to get that width and that thickness to that back, man. As you can see right here, I'm doing some what I call an inverted bent over pull down or pull over. Basically, I like doing my pullovers like this instead of on a bench, laying down on a dumbbell, because I don't feel the contraction once you pull the dumbbell over your head in the lats anymore. It's a great stretch, but with this exercise, you're able to get the best of both worlds. And then I did about, I want to say 20 reps there. Then I went straight over to the lat pull down and then 20 reps as well. I take a very wide grip on this, just so that as you can notice, it's not very prominent, but with my elbows, I'm thinking about trying to squeeze my back together. In order to do that and squeeze my shoulder blades together, I need to bring my elbows in as close to my back as possible. So just there's a natural V shape that I make with my elbows whenever I'm trying to squeeze that back as hard as possible to get the best contraction. So I did 20 repetitions of those, and this was really just my warm-up, just to get the blood moving. I did 2 rounds of this to start out with. Best thing I can tell you about the tips on these 2 exercises is you want to stand about, whenever you're doing the inverted bent over cable pullover, you want to stand about a pretty decent amount of distance away from the machine to actually get that stretch and actually get the contraction. And when I'm pulling the cable down, I'm actually pulling it towards my middle thigh. That's where I tend to get the best contraction in the lat. And I don't keep my arms totally straight. They're bent slightly, but you want to keep them as straight as possible. You know, you don't want to, feel it in your triceps. Man, but look at those traps. Look like 2 big old bowling balls on my back, man. Anyway, I'm gonna show y'all how to get those at the end of the video. I do a little quick trap workout in this video. I really don't hit traps too much, but I'll show you what I typically do. Here we went to a bent over row with the barbell. I love doing these just because I feel like, to me, I think it's the best back exercise just for width and thickness. And one big thing on this is, guys, do not be that person in the gym that's pretty much standing up doing these if you're trying to hit your back. You see me right here, I'm bent over, I'm a little bit above parallel. I usually take a little bit wider than shoulder grip, shoulder width grip on this. Here I'm doing maybe, I think I'm doing like 12 reps. I really don't count reps that often, especially when I get to my last sets. I'm just pretty much going until failure, or going until I feel like I can't get a good quality rep. And quality just meaning my form is not what it should be. Another big thing about back, man, is I always recommend that people use straps, just because people do not really care how big your forearms are typically. And really, when you're going without straps, that's pretty much the muscle that you're going to get a lot of work instead of your back. Your back is going to be much stronger than what your forearms are. So whenever you don't really use straps or some type of device to help you with your grip, you're really missing out on a lot of volume that you could be hitting your back with, and really putting on the poundage in order to get that failure sets and reps on the back. Here I did this is a new exercise that I've just started doing. It's a low cable row with a twist or reverse grip at the end. I like doing these because typically when I do it with the dumbbells, I just don't get a great contraction. I really, just even when I'm doing it with single arm, I don't get a great contraction in my left lat. And if you notice, if you really pay close attention, my left lat is smaller than my right lat. So I started doing these because the contraction is actually equal when I feel like I'm doing these. So I typically don't do bent over one arm dumbbell rows. I usually do them with the cable. Just like I said before, I get a better contraction. And so it's you know, some exercising may work for some people, but that doesn't be the case for all around for everybody. So you got to find out what works for you and what you can feel working for yourself. I did about 15 reps on these. I think I only did maybe 3 sets. Man, I love these so much. Sometimes I'll even do these twice in a workout. So you see me switching arms here, just really getting a great contraction. And it's not really hard to get that contraction with this exercise. It's almost immediate. I mean, you have to be completely just not even, this is your first time lifting, bruh, to be able to even mess this up. I mean, I basically stand about maybe 3 feet away from the weight stack. And big tip for whenever you're working back, let your elbows guide the bar or dumbbell in whatever exercise you're doing, because that's going to help you from engaging the bicep and more so pulling with the back. And also it's going to tell you where you're working as far as in your back, because your elbow is going to lead to into that muscle group. So here we switched over to a reverse grip pull down. Love doing these, oh my goodness. And I feel like this is really the only exercise that expands my lats from the front, because you get a great stretch, a great contraction. Now the big thing about this, guys, is don't be leaning so far back on this, or when you're doing just a regular pull down, you really are not hitting the lats as well. You're not getting the best stretch you can get. So here, and really with this, you can't do a whole lot of weight. And you see I'm taking a very almost like a hook grip. I don't curl my thumbs over because it's uncomfortable on my wrist. Man, look at that whiff, bruh. It's uncomfortable on my wrist, so I typically just do it with my thumbs unlocked and just really focus on the contraction and not really worried about weight, which I really never am. So then we switched over to a seated cable row. I try to hit my outer lats first and then work towards the middle of my back. So this, I do them a little bit differently than when you may see people do. Some people will lean all the way forward and then come all the way back and pull. I like to stay stationary, just because when I do these, before I start the exercise, I actually roll my shoulders back in order to really engage my middle back. And so then from there, once I roll my shoulder back, I keep them there and then I pull. And then it was night and day difference when I started doing that. So I always do that. You know, I get as good as a stretch as I can, but really the contraction is so tense in that exercise. And for middle back, I usually try to keep the rep range high, just because I feel like it responds better. I feel like my middle back has really gained some thickness since I've been doing more reps. And I'm actually supersetting this one. So I did maybe, man, I can't really remember how many reps I did. I made it did in between 12 and 15. And then I switched over to a bent over, I guess you can call it a bent over fly. I can't really remember what this is called. But I'm doing this, and usually people do this for the rear delts. It will hit a little bit of rear delt, but as you can see, usually when I'm working my back, I have my eyes closed because I'm focusing on the muscle group that I want to work. So here, I'm actually going for the middle back to work. The first exercise was actually working and squeezing there. Then after that, I went over to a rack pull. I didn't have the right type of setup to do these, because another person was actually using the rack I wanted to set up with the bars on the side for me to pull from. But anyway, made it a little bit harder, but just want to go ahead and get the workout done. So basically, this is like a conventional deadlift, but you're not starting from the floor basically. I'm pulling up and going just below my kneecaps and then back up, so it's targeted more so on your lower back. Reason why I do it this way is because I've heard conventional deadlifts thicken up your waist. So as a bodybuilder, you know, you always want to have that small waist, or else it throws off your symmetry. You just don't have a pleasing physique to the eye if that waist is really, really thick. So I just do it this way, so I do get the benefits of doing deadlifts, but for the back portion that I really want. And I'm able to go pretty heavy on this, whereas I was doing a conventional deadlift, I definitely could not do, you know, 4 or 5 plates. So then after this, I did, well, I superset it actually with shrugs. And I do my shrugs a little bit differently than most people. I actually pull up and back. That way, because I feel like your traps is more a part of your back, more so than it sits on the top of your shoulders. Yeah, it looks that way, but most of that meat, when I notice whenever I'm doing a back double bicep, is all of that is just all traps sitting back there. So I decided to do it this way, and I've gotten some major gains, as you can see earlier when I was doing the lat pull down, how they just were really popping out. And I usually do about I want to say 15 to 20 reps on this, and I just get 45-pound dumbbells. I usually do maybe upwards towards 30 reps, but that's just how many I feel like doing here. Man, I know y'all saw that last set. Legs were shaking because the shit was heavy, but we gotta go up one more because we gotta get that back as big as it could be. So we're gonna go for 5 plates, 4 reps. Pray for me.
Come on, baby, you got it. Come on. Yep. Come on.
So you see there, man, I went for 5 plates, didn't get the 4 reps like I wanted to, but, you know, man, I had to just drop the weight, get those last 2, man. It's all about finishing the workout strong. You know, I could have, you know, left out my head down and my tail between my legs, but, you know, it's all about how you finish, and that was the last exercise of the day. So just always remember to finish strong, guys. And tonight I'm actually going to be, after I post this video up, I'm going to be posting about who won the contest for since we hit 100 subscribers. I'm actually going to do the next one when we get to 1,000 subscribers. I chose people that subscribed and also commented on the video. So if you didn't comment before now, then it's too late. Sorry. But so it was like maybe 3 or 4 people. I think it was 4 people. So I'll be contacting them soon to get them the free supplements. So next contest, man, make sure you're doing everything you can to win. You never know how I'm going to choose the winner. So like, share, subscribe. True Adonis TV. Y'all take care.